Hey guys, so I'm going to go over a little bit about overseeding your lawn, and there are two parts to this. One is in the fall or late summer is overseeding with like a perennial ryegrass, so you have a green lawn throughout the winter. And then something that we get sometimes down here or out here is that putting seed down the springtime, so you fill patches and holes throughout the summer. I'm going to go over both of these. First one, which is the big one, which if you lived here for a while or if you've been around the golf business at all or played golf or anything like that, you'll see that people like to overseed in the fall with a perennial ryegrass to keep that green look all throughout the winter. And it's something that is not recommended. There are a number of reasons. You have to maintain it, mow it, fertilize it, water it if we have a dry winter. You have to keep all that going. And another thing, especially nowadays, it does cost a lot of money. The seed has gotten expensive, the labor to put it down has gotten expensive, and there's some prep work you have to do to your current lawn to make sure you have a good germination rate. And then a really big one is in the springtime. So when we're greening up our Bermuda or whatever, most of the time you don't ever want to overseed St. Augustine or zoysia anyways because it's such a dense turf. But if you're doing it on Bermuda in the springtime when your Bermuda's waking up from dormancy, the ryegrass, that's a prime temperature as well for the ryegrass, so it's really thriving. And you have both of these here trying to compete. They're competing for nutrients, water, and the sunlight. Ryegrass grows faster, so when the temperatures are in that springtime, the ryegrass is going to be a little bit more dominant until you get hot enough to kill that off and the Bermuda takes over. What happens is that ryegrass dies off and you're left with patchy areas. So your springtime a lot of times won't look as good versus just not having any overseed at all. I always recommend don't waste all that time, money, and the trouble with it. Just let your lawn go dormant. You can reduce the water down quite a bit. You don't have to do all the maintenance to it that you normally would, and just let it come back in the spring. Overall, it'll be much healthier. Now, another one that I hear is for the springtime. People that do have Bermuda, I feel like everything's always has to do with Bermuda. So if you have a choice when you install sod, look at zoysia. But anyways, off topic. If you're wanting or have a question about putting more Bermuda down in your yard, there's a good chance that the seed that's available is not going to be the same thing that was laid in your yard originally. A lot of times what's planted is, the most common one is 419 Bermuda. There are other hybrids that are out there as well. You're not going to get a seed variety that matches that. Those hybrids, they're not grown by seed. They're laid by sod. They'll do sprigs, but for most homeowners it's all done by sod. So if you grab Bermuda seed from a store, put that down, it's most likely some type variety of common Bermuda grass seed, and they're not going to match. They're different growth types, different patterns of the leaf blade. They're going to look different. So don't recommend that at all. If you have areas that you need to get it to look better, I would always look at top dressing first, or if you need to remove certain sections of your current lawn and then resod. That's the way to do that. Never would recommend overseeding with Bermuda on top of Bermuda because it probably won't match. The only way that would be different is if you seeded your yard in the beginning, and there are plenty of places that will do that, and you just need to reseed to fill it because maybe it was a bad summer the year before or just a harsh winter. You just didn't have a good germination rate from the original grow in, and you need to go over it with some seed. You just want to make sure you match them correctly from what was originally planted to what you're putting down. If you have any questions, just let us know in the comments below and we'll get you taken care of. Thanks a lot.